it's been a minute since I've gone live, but whew, there's a lot of reasons for that. I would say I have been slipping into old habits, but I don't know about that. Let me back up. Story time. No, not any bad necessarily. I admit that I'm a workaholic and I am addicted to the internet. And I want to live a life away from the internet, I think. And so yeah, I just got out of the hot spring, and we just had an amazing time. I met up with two friends. One I've known, a new friend. We made a new friend tonight, and spending time with a friend that I've known for years, but have become actual friends with this person since living here in Slab City. So we just had a really magical time at the hot spring, and I had an epiphany about something that I thought I'd share here. So this new friend asked a question of, and I'm not giving names for privacy's sake. This new friend asked what each of us two had done when we were 23. Tell a story about when we were 23 years old. And I was like, whoa. And yet I was like, whoa, wow. So I told the story of when I was 23 years old. I had graduated from Bible college with my 4-year degree for K through 12 education. And about, maybe a year before I graduated Bible college, I became really inspired by my college professor who taught human growth and development, an assorted bunch of classes, and I absolutely fell in love with their teaching methods and their philosophy. And my professors started a school for inner city children, which they had this Bible club called Somebody Special Club. And so they started a school for these children. So there were 12 children, and they actually started the school in the middle of Baltimore in the city. And I was invited to come out, or I asked to come out to visit the school. And when I went to the school, I absolutely fell in love with the whole vision of helping these children have a better education. Still using like the traditional education textbook learning sort of methodologies. But the heart and soul and spirit was to love the children, and just inspire them and help them to be the people that they wanted to be. So at that time, the vision really resonated with me. So when I graduated college, I actually went to work at the school, and I ended up doing it part-time, and I basically volunteered. They didn't have a way to pay the teachers at that time, which in hindsight, is a huge red flag. I realize that there are people all over the world that volunteer, but it was a school, it was a private school. They should have paid their teachers. That should have been a top priority, but it wasn't, and none of us got a salary. So, but I still love the vision, the mission, but I feel like I had an epiphany tonight about what happened when I was 23 years old. So I had a very strong attachment to my professor, and it was really just unhealthy. And when I started working at the school, I was starting to get a lot of pushback, not like just from the students, and I realized tonight that, I was just self-imploding. Like my identity was literally this professor. and it was just unhealthy. So I imploded. So like what happened was one of the students threatened my life, and I was just shocked and traumatized because I had never ever had my life threatened in this lifetime. So I went to the professor's office and I let them know, and they spoke to the student who threatened my life, and nothing happened. And I just couldn't believe it. The student was allowed to, continue in the classroom, and basically the three students that I had pretty much ganged up on me, and I just couldn't do my job. Like, they would not respect me at all. And by design, I imploded and I walked away. And I had just this really heart-crushing experience. It really broke me open, and I realized that I cannot find my identity in another person. That is not how I'm going to get through life. So I ended up withdrawing from that school for, and the professor. And what I did for myself is that I need to rely on myself and have a strong inner core for me. Like, not ever try to derive my identity from anyone else in this world. Like, yeah, it's fine to be inspired by people, but not like take on their identity. Like, I went as far as like wearing my hair like her. I don't to this day, but them. Wearing my hair like the professor. Yeah, it just got weird. But you know what? Isn't that kind of like what young people do, is that they mimic adults that they want to be like? But I had to grow up fast and realize that I am an independent, strong person. I need to find my inner strength in me. So that was the point in time where I got broken open, and I uh, have been relying on myself. And then as I find out who I am, which I think we're always working on, like realizing who we are. Um, Now I have been branching out in latter years, learning to build community and participate in community. So it starts with me, a strong root, a strong light. I know myself, I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses. Now I join hands with other people and connect, which is what we did beautifully tonight at the hot spring. And I wanted to share that story with you because I had never really, I don't recall making that connection. But from that point on, like, it made me a strong, independent woman, to be creative on my own, to have my own voice, to have my own brand, to know my own mind. And that cracking open experience also led me down the path of leaving religion behind altogether and moving into a van, living the solo female van life, and finally ditching society, coming here to Slab City as best as I can ditch society. I'm still relying on society. I mean, come on, I get food stamps. I'm relying on society. But, I get to live on the edge a little bit. I don't pay rent. I'm still living out of this camper van here in Slab City. I know how to survive excessive heat of 123 degrees and live to tell about it. But, admittedly, it was thanks to friends from last summer. So, anyone have a cracking open experience where you realized that you had to find the strength within yourself to make it through this life? So I would love to hear about it in the comments. Oh, it has also kind of led me to think about how I'm living my life now. So I have reinvested once again in my online homeschool teaching program. in a coach, a marketing coach she's fairly new, but boy, she's just, the way her mind works is just extraordinary, extremely progressive. She's a tutor. Her name is Jenna Nicole. But she's specific. She has a specific group of women that she's coaching right now, and I'm among them. So she's right now having us create digital games for kids to play to help them learn, what writing skills, reading skills. But, I'm not a tutor, so we've had to kind of think about how this relates to my program. So for those of you who don't know, I teach an online program called 𝐵𝐼𝐼𝐼. And 𝐵𝐼𝐼𝐼 looks at mathematic connections all over the universe, found in nature and music and art. It's like this, almost this esoteric connection with mathematics and the universe around us. So it goes far beyond what textbooks cover, which is calculation, nuts and bolts. But 𝐵𝐼𝐼𝐼 also shows children how math is used everywhere around us in technology. So it starts off with a backbone of mathematics history, where we start with like the ancient Egyptians and Babylonians. I could go even further back to like prehistoric humanity, where they use the 𝐆𝐞𝐭 bones to mark lines. But I kind of moved it forward to Babylonian maths. But I believe math has been used since humans started breathing. So yeah, it's quite a journey. It's a year-long program. And so Jenna Nicole is helping me get that business off the ground. I've literally been working on it since, technically 2003 is when 𝐵𝐼𝐼𝐼 was born, when I started teaching it to my 3rd and 5th graders. It was under a different name though, called Math Lab, where I just really became inspired to see math everywhere around me. Way beyond what curriculum does, more of an intuitive maths, also an appreciation for mathematics, especially in art and architecture and nature. Like I went on like 7 years of looking at patterns in nature, looking at spirals in snail shells and spirals in pine cones, and taking photographs and just seeing the art, beauty, and wonder, and just marveling. So this is what 𝐵𝐼𝐼𝐼 is. So, I'm going to gamify it. It's, there's this part of me that's like, oh my goodness, it's going to be years more of work if I'm going to, create all my own resources. And, there's just part of me that's like, I really don't want to spend the rest of my life behind a computer to do all this. It's like, but then I'm really split in the middle. We'll figure this out, folks. It's taking a lot of time away from Slab City, and I'm not liking that. But it's, between the part-time job at the mountain, revamping my online education business, and wanting to be a present community member. It's a lot. And I'm learning to balance all that. And that's why I haven't been putting as much effort into YouTube, because I'm juggling. And I'm like, I really am too busy. I don't like being so busy. And I pushed aside my business so that I could focus on just living life here in Slab City. And in the summer, I'll be forced to do that. I'm not going to be sweating over a computer all summer. It just doesn't work, especially July. I literally could not do very much computer work in July. So yeah, I'm just rambling and just touching base and sharing my epiphany. with you, which my 23-year-old story. I thought that was really cool. And I have left stuff in the van. I got this new case, which helps organize my clothes better than the ripped up duffel bag that a friend gave me when I hit the road. So let's just do a little pan of the van here. So we've got my table. We've got my Bauer fan, which got me through summer last year, and I'll be using that again. Got my stock of food. That's my favorite day pack. It's an Osprey. I got food bins in the front. This is my organizer. I've got a shoe organizer on the left, which I don't put shoes in. I just use it for more stuff. Lots of towels and washcloths. And my fridge, which broke. I think it's my fault. I was pouring a jug of water and some of it got in here and it shorted it out. Dreamcatcher showed me that. So I'm either gonna buy another one or have a friend fix it or just live life without a fridge. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna flow with it and go with it. So yeah, and here's my shelving. And I'm sitting on my towel because it's been warm and so I've been sweating. That's my sleeping bag. It's very light, ultra light. And my pillow couch. So yeah, that is my van. So cool. Anyway, thank you for listening and see you again soon. Bye for now.